So,
Yeah.
are you prepared to share the exciting next part?
Yeah, the most little eyes I could have, but yeah,
Yeah,
totally. I have still the Photoshop if needed.
yeah, you can share the screen there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I share the screen directly, maybe. So
Hmm.
it will be the same as last one. Um, so some magic of montage.
Yes, tell us. The little girl is asleep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the biggest magic,
It
right?
will be easier for my wife and for my girl, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
to do it at this schedule. But
Hmm.
so we was staying on that we will finally go to this stack for number one. Um, and so this on my part, it's like pure um, luck in a way, but it's like after I've testing every combination with respecting this 1, 2, 3, 4, I couldn't find a good animal stack that was fitting. Then I was thinking, okay, so sleep consume blast play, something with sleep and play last or sleep blast was feeling even more better. But sleep blast play consume was feeling really great.
Hmm.
And it was like a little aha moment because that would mean that number one now will be this.
Right. So it would be, just to translate, it would be ego,
Ego, yeah, you are right
responsibility, or generalize,
yeah,
and
um,
friends
friends
and specialize would be
and
last.
specialize, yeah, yeah.
So you flip the last two social needs for the number one type.
And I think on at least on the NT, it's something before before I saw the video of Oli and Felix, it
Hmm.
was something that was bothering me a lot. Um, the idea that was apparently there is no glass lizard. Shan is saying there is no social glass lizard,
No jumpers.
no jumper. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So like for number two to be responsibility, and in place of
Hmm.
friends being ego. Yeah. So apparently Shan have tried to track this, and it don't happen apparently.
So wait a minute. So now what you're saying is that you're talking about the social two, so the
Yeah,
generalist,
yeah,
and you're talking about that if there would be a jumper, in that case, you would jump from generalize to ego.
yeah,
But what you said is that Shan has not been tracking this. So it seems like it's generalized and then friends. It's
yeah.
not jumping.
And this also was bothering me when I have
Okay.
discovered how they have found this. It's like how they have found that it's 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3. It come from the modality apparently. It's they that have enforced the mass of the modality. So uh, MF, sorry, uh, FM, yeah. And I was thinking, okay, so they have created this pattern from this apparently
How
only.
can you say that? I just want to see what's your line of reasoning.
It's not a line of reasoning. It's apparently Dave. I've said this on a video or a mail, maybe. or an audio maybe where we was talking. I can't remember, but I'm sure it was coming from this apparently, and it made me think if we can reverse the two last number, maybe even this isn't true. This order isn't true anymore. Anyway, it will be way too difficult to go that far. But
Hmm.
I think ZRT have seen something and they have just putting on this and it really work apparently.
So it seems to work on the first two
Yeah.
animals or first two social needs. So just to be clear then, what you're saying is that ego generalize 1, 2 is the double masculine. That's what Dave said, right?
Uh,
Is
I
that
don't.
what you're saying? Because I just want to
Yes, yes,
understand.
yes, yes, yes. But I don't know how they have done it. To be fair,
So we don't know if it's true, but anyways, this is the
I'm sure Dave have said this to me, so I'm pretty confident it come from the modality, all this number. The question is how it's like maybe he has replaced the number one for masculine sensory, by example, the
mhm,
number two for
masculine
masculine
DE.
DE,
Hmm.
and after this FF, and so after this he has done some crazy combo and find this, but something that feels even more clean if you reverse the last two number. It's
Hmm.
like if there is no jumper, there is something pretty interesting. It's like when you have one ego and responsibility together, ego win is above um, responsibility.
Why do you say
But
that?
because it's a savior, the savior is ego is above number two.
Over generalized.
Yeah, and so if this was a jumper, it was responsibilities and ego.
Mm.
Um, that would create something weird because that would mean
That it
there is
would be the
no,
reverse.
and that means there will not be any more. Sorry, pen one two yes. Ah, okay, okay, my bad. That means it will not be this anymore.
Yeah.
And to make this uh, true, you have to make yeah, basically jumper don't have to exist. Or I think with what we can at some point, we can maybe create some new way of seeing of creating a jumper, and I would be really curious if this come to the ear of Shan, then if she could track even some weird jumper or not.
Right.
But
Yeah.
um, to try to be a bit more clear, it's like uh, yeah, same here. It's like number two and number four. When they are together, number two is above number four. And so if this it was a jumper with a friends then a responsibility, same. It will create something really weird. It will inverse totally the hierarchy of the social. And I think we can all agree that yeah, number one feels on top and number four feels below.
Mm.
Um, in a way also that is it's like on pure feeling it feels like the number four. It's not that they can't be number one, it's that they refuse to be number one.
Yeah, they've
To
been
play this
talking about
game.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you even if you become very successful, you will kind of yeah take yourself down in a way, like
down. Yeah,
just
yeah.
to become the social type that you should be. They're not comfortable being like the archetype of the number one.
Yeah, the number 4 feels like they don't want to play the who is above who game.
Exactly.
And in a way, by not wanting to play this game, sometimes you could even say that they are above everyone because of this. But
Right, because they are not in the game, so they are,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
kind of objective parts
yeah,
in a way. Yeah,
yeah,
looking at the game. Hmm.
yeah. So I will write it 3 1 3 1 2 4.
So you're basically just changing the order of the two last.
Yeah, and what?
So
Yeah, what?
instead of having friends last for the number one, it's
Yeah,
specialized last. And for the number two, it's ego last. For the number three, it's friends last. And for the number four, it's generalize last.
yeah.
So
Maybe
that's
even I
the
should
option that you're kind of showing here based on the logic.
I should even clean a bit. I think starting to be pretty messy. So yeah, our idea will be now that yeah, number 1 is in fact 1, 2. So ego, responsibility, friends, and specialized
Specialized.
last. And
Mm.
so when you do this on the little grand stack, so 1, 2.
And also, I have to add while we are doing this, we don't know if it's true in the ST. This is just the math. That makes a little bit more sense.
It's yeah, it will feel better on pure feelings that make sleep blast play consume,
Yes.
and it will how to say this you will put sleep blast play consume here, and
Mhm.
for number you will keep every animal for the same number on every social type,
Yeah.
and it will create a social animal stack. It start to, the naming start to be pretty messy, but um, it's like it will feel yeah on the NT it will be clean, and it's on the NF it feels great, and it's like the ground stack also it feels something pretty. I have write some crap. My bad. Um,
That keeps happening. The two and the four.
yeah,
They keep
my
switching.
brain don't want. I'm totally destroyed to be fair, but
Two.
1. So it's 2. And so the last one will be the 4. Yeah. So yeah, it will make this look like this. It's like so 1 is above 2, 2 is above 4, 4 is above 3, 3 is above 1.
Can
And
you now draw the connection from you know, the same way as we do with the grand stack normally, from N, for example, from Ni to Fe becomes blast. Can you do it
oh,
the same way here to show the
okay,
animals?
sure, sure. So I will maybe write below for people.
So number one is Di,
So here
four
is
is De,
OI.
two is Oi, and three is Oe.
Yeah, so the number 1 stack would be sleep blast play consume.
Mm. So the first animal would be from Di to Oi
Yeah,
instead of Di to Oe, because
yeah,
if number two was the OE, then it would be consume as the first animal. And yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and so something, or maybe there is jumper on this. So in the other direction, that would make sleep, consume, play, blast.
Yeah, if it would go
Maybe
the other direction.
a big maybe, but not sure.
You should put B last. Sleep, consume, play, blast.
Yeah,
We're tired. It's almost midnight.
yeah,
So we're
oh,
crazy.
and
We
sick.
can't stop ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. And so, but yeah, no, let's not explore too much this one for now. I I
Yeah,
have,
and what we
I
said
don't know.
last time, it doesn't really make sense that the number one and the number two has an extroverted animal last. It makes more sense that it's an introverted animal last.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
yeah. It makes sense that the extroverted people are the one winning in the extroverted world. Yeah,
yeah,
it's just,
exactly.
yeah,
Hmm.
basically as simple as this. Yeah.
Yeah,
And for number one also, it feels on point that they miss the mirror of the self. That makes them pretty unstoppable, but also stubborn also, probably.
sorry,
Um,
what did you say? Say it again.
that would make them really stubborn. Stubborn, I think it's the right word in English.
Yeah,
When you
yeah, yeah.
are, yeah.
But the full sentence before you said that.
Oh, they will miss the mirror of the self, that is the consume. So they will
Ah,
not
yeah, because
adjust,
they would be consume last if they are the
consume
sleep
last. Yeah,
last
yeah,
play consume. So
yeah,
they wouldn't be able to consume themselves from the outside.
yeah,
Yeah, and that makes sense. Yeah, because then there is nothing stopping them in a sense. Like it
yeah.
doesn't really matter what anyone thinks about them. Is that what you're saying? They can just do their thing and march ahead.
I don't know because they sometimes I think we don't talk properly of consume last, but you will tell me if you resonate with this because when you are last, you are not play last, so you take the update from the tribe, but you don't take the update from the self.
Right. Ah, yeah.
I think basically, at least it's how it feels on myself, that my consume try to destroy who I am. And so in a way, other people don't have to do it for me.
Yeah, because you are forcing yourself to update with your consume because it's third.
Yeah.
That's what you mean when you say destroy, because
Yeah,
destroy
but
is from the OI perspective. We want to
and it's
say,
also the double masculine probably, but it really
mm,
feels super aggressive. Yeah. It's like
mm,
where I'm not enough in a way. So I have to change. No choice. Yeah. We and the
yeah.
I think. But yeah.
So how would that make sense for number one that they don't need to update? They can
In a
stay on
way,
track.
I it's a bit like, again, I'm not consume last, so I'm not sure if it's true, but I think when you are in particular sleep first and consume last, that means you have to accept who you are as you are because you can't change yourself. Because you only have sleep um, to touch your
So you
GI.
can't change yourself, and
You
hence you
can't
have to accept who you are, like
who
from the
you
sleep
are.
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. And that make a lot of gurus, you have said it in one time, but I think it was really on point. And I don't know. Maybe do you relate of the idea that you have to accept who you are, um, with no exception in a way?
Yeah, I think also the masculine TI contributes to that in my own case.
Yeah,
Savior sleep with masculine TI. yeah, it would be really interesting to change brains for a day to be maybe sleep consume or even consume sleep, consume
Yeah,
above sleep, just to see how, if I had consumed as a savior, how that would affect that sleep, that firm masculine TI. Yeah. I guess I have to simulate that somehow and try to fake it. But yeah, I think I have to sleep on that question, Antoine, but it's a good one. Thank you for asking me. Yeah,
to,
okay, let's move on. So now we
sure.
basically have showed how um, the actual social needs, ego,
Yeah,
and responsibility or generalize friends and specialize how they fit into sleep, blast, play, consume.
yeah,
If we switch um, the OE to OI in the second human social need.
yeah. And
So,
so,
yeah,
yeah, it just we can maybe just write it. It's like after this, so basically the number one will be sleep, blast, play, consume. The responsibility number two will be
blast,
blast, play, consume, sleep.
consume. Yeah,
The number three would be consume, sleep, blast, play. And the number four, and I will start with the number four because, yeah, I still have a sentence from Otim that was so clever, but you will see. Play, consume, sleep, blast. When
yeah.
I was testing a lot of combination, yeah, so Otim was helping me with what he was feeling when I was thinking, okay, so I'm hesitating with this one or another that was close to. And he says something really good about the number four. It's like if you have the play without the blast, you are basically EJ with no control on the tribe. So it's like you are only accepting fully people as they are for who they are. I feel like play is a lot about this.
Mm,
Where you meet them where they are, and with
yeah,
with the blast that isn't here, it's like you will never control them, and it also feels pretty good with the stereotype of number four, yeah, of yeah. I think it was
yeah.
really clever
There,
from him to say this.
there is no element of narrowing down. Like with the play, it's just this open field. It's never ending, just
Yeah,
open.
yeah, yeah, and yeah.
So yeah, you can really let people be who they are, and no need for helping, so to speak, as the blasters see themselves as
Also, the
helping.
blast, think you can relate probably. The blast is also a lot about um, making what has to be done so the tribes stay bound together. So in a way, the number four are more okay to, yeah, again to they will not enforce um, to be your friend in a way. Yeah, maybe in a demon state if they have the blast last and the number two last probably, but yeah, that
Can you repeat that? Sorry, my
yeah.
computer
No, it's not
kicked in.
it's not that easy to explain. It's like I think blast. At least it's a lot of how I see blast in my own life. It's like you basically with my NI, so my future. There is my future with my DI and my D, and both have to come together. and I see a lot of the blast in our stack, to you and me,
Hmm.
as making your tribe stay on the same path. Yeah. So you, how to say this? It's a lot of the should for the best of the group. Yeah.
Mm.
What you have to do to make the group stay together. There is something more rigid about blast than play because of
Oh
this.
yes, oh yes, for sure, because there is a way, right?
Yeah, yeah. But same time also, if you don't do this and you just have the play, you can have a lot of relationships that will dilute themselves over time
Mm.
just
Okay,
because
yeah,
people are doing different stuff. Then it will come back, but it will really be flowing. It will be really natural. Um, so it will be a really different way to be a friend. And so in a way, the friend of the number two of the generalist will be, yeah,
more
the-
safe as a friend. They will stay friends for longer. Is that what you're saying?
it's a bit weird. If they have choose to be friends, because I could still see still the layer of um, that there is the blast over the play. It's like I think they are saying that sometimes the number two feels a bit transactional in their friends like. Um, but in both direction, it's like they are aware that they are here to give something to someone else, and her friends are also giving something to them. It's not
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
can relate to that. I mean, I
yeah,
haven't been officially social typed by Dave and Shan, but I have been Habibed social too and triangulated with the tribe as well. I don't know if it's 100% true, but I think I'm friends over flex at least.
yeah,
I think I'm a
yeah,
number two. And I have like this win-win perspective in, yeah, in so many areas of life. And my sister really hates it, like the win-win when I tell her, let's do it this way and both will benefit. Um, and I don't know, it's just a natural thing for me to think like that.
yeah.
It's not that I have an agenda, but I want both to be winning.
Yeah. No, it's yeah.
So I
When
guess
you
that is an agenda in a way. Maybe that is like, yeah, it's the path.
oh, it's I don't
But
know
it's
because
it's
it's
not just for
super
me, it's for,
yeah yeah.
yeah,
It's also it's not yeah. It's not just for you. Yeah, it's for your tribe for
yeah.
everything that you will impose on the other people. You will also impose on yourself and reciprocally.
Because
Yeah,
I think the problem for me is if the tribe is losing, then I am losing as well.
yeah.
So there can only be win-win or lose-lose in my case.
But so when do you feel like you um in a way you can't be a friend of someone? Do you have something in mind that come to your mind when I'm saying this?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
I'm
I
curious.
have, so historically, I have never cut anyone off in
Hmm.
my whole life. So I'm not
Okay.
sure how to answer that question. Um, like
No, but
deliberate.
it's a good maybe a particular good example of you have always make what was necessary to keep your tribe together.
Yeah.
So
What
yeah,
what I can say is that like there is a circle of friends, like you could say like many circles. So if I'm in the middle, like the core, and then you have the closer circle, and then it kind of becomes further and further away. So, like the planets, some
Yeah.
are closer to the sun and some are further away.
Yeah.
But they will still remain, there. They are still there. They are not going anywhere. There is
I
this
see.
magnetism, but maybe it won't be
Nice,
as
nice enough.
frequent.
It's really, yeah. I feel you. Yeah.
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 And of course, they can jump, unlike planets.
Mm.
So you can jump from being closest to the sun to maybe in the middle, or you can jump from the
Change
middle
the orbit. Yeah.
closer. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you can change orbits like back and forth throughout life. But I think that's very different with, for example, if I compare to the function of Fi, it seems like they have this closest orbit, and once you are there, you're really there, and the rest is kind of, I don't know, irrelevant. I'm not sure, but it feels like you're either in or out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I've
that's
saw
not how
this
it
also.
works for me, at least. You're A lot of people are in, but they are not fully in. Like just a few are. Um, yeah, just to throw another analogy, but so if I was the book, a lot of people can read chapter 1 and chapter 2. I will be an open book in that case. And I think a lot of people think they know me, but they only know me to chapter 2. And then just a few people will proceed to 3, 4, 5, and so forth. And the further into the book you get, oof, fewer and
Mm.
fewer will make it, and it will take time, a long time for
Yeah.
me to let people into more chapters.
To open up that much. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it has anything with social type number 2. Maybe that's just, demon DI or something else. But
That's a good
yeah,
question because it feels, I think pretty much everyone will relate that the stereotype of the number 2 with sleep last is really on point because it's like they help everyone with the blast, but they don't take care of themselves,
right. Yeah.
unfortunately. But
Hmm.
so that make also some that split the OI for the number 2. Um, in
Yeah.
so yeah, that's something also that I have discovered after. So I don't know how much it's true, but it feels really beautiful that number 1 have his DI split at the maximum. Number 2 have the OI split at the maximum. Number 3 have the OE split at the maximum. And number 4 have the DE split at the maximum. So
Yeah.
in a way, it's again a nice joke of Mother Nature. It's like they are all in balance,
Yeah.
basically.
They
Yeah,
are all extreme glass lizards
yeah,
in a way.
yeah,
Like the IP that is double activated DE. How ironic. And an
yeah,
IP that is consume last.
yeah, totally.
And still very DI.
Maybe for the consume sleep blast play for the number 3, um, I could personally really relate to this how to say this. It's like I live in consume. It's like always have my hair. How do you say this? The little stuff that you put in your hair for the audio. Hair plug. Or yeah. Um, to listen to consume something when I'm work when I'm coming back on my phone. It's like I live in consume. It's like how to say this? It's like I really relate to most. How- when they have talked about number 3 and specialization, I was feeling like, okay, I'm probably really close on the overlap of my type is probably naturally really close um, of it because I feel like I'm pretty all in on yeah specialize everywhere all the time on anything that I'm doing. But clearly the fact that I'm blast savior, this is feels out of place. Yeah. Um, um, and I think, by example, you were saying to me that for you, it's the sleep that was feeling out of place for your number two. The fact that you have sleep so high in the normal
Mm,
animal stack. Yeah.
yeah.
A really good something to that will be really interesting to test. It's like Shan is play consume say blast and what is the name of the podcaster that is the same type of their child to Devon Shan?
Oh, a podcaster that is a TV
Um,
SE? Are you
Joe
talking
Rogan.
about Joe? Yeah, Joe
Joe
Rogan. Yeah,
Rogan, yeah.
he is also play consume sleep blast, but he's actually a number four.
Yeah. And this is where I want to go because it's like apparently Shan was saying, or Dave, or both, I don't remember, but that their child that have exactly the same stack that Joe Rogan,
Hmm.
he don't struggle at all with his DI. Uh, and it could make a lot of sense if his animal stack is perfectly aligned with his social stack.
Mm.
Where Shan have struggled all the time with her DI since she was saying since ever, yeah, all her life, yeah. So
But isn't that a little bit contradictory as well? Because if she is, because she's a number one, right? So
yeah,
she should be stronger in her DI in a sense.
I think it's because she care about her DI. It's like you, how to say this? I think someone like Joe Rogan, yeah, it's like what we were saying about the number four. It's like they don't want to play the game of ego, to play the game of hierarchy. So they will feel great to not have a strong one in a way. Where for a number one, yeah, like Shan, it will make a dissonance, cognitive dissonance. Yeah, a huge
Mm.
one probably.
Because she's responsible to seek her DI,
Yeah,
pursue her DI, even though she isn't DI. So, yeah, there will be that cognitive dissonance
yeah,
because of that.
yeah,
That
yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense. I was thinking about what they have said because actually, for us, when we look at this social type number 2 and 3 here with this math that we think makes more sense.
yeah,
So the glass lizard IJ and the glass lizard EP, I think it's still matching the what they are saying, like the head on the swivel, that
yeah,
analogy,
yeah, yeah. Good
because
point.
in a sense, before maybe you would say, oh, but it's OE. It's just looking at all the opportunities and possibilities, etc. And it's true, but also there is a way because they are going somewhere with all of this information. They are not just taking it in for no reason at all or just for fun, but it's actually serving a purpose, right?
Yeah,
And so I was thinking about like they even typed someone quite recently of that stack. I think it was an INTJ. He was blast, play, consume, sleep. Um, and I think Dave said that he feels like an EP, which would make
yeah,
perfect sense because the play is double activated. Yet he was an IJ because he had this path. And I'm thinking about like entrepreneurs. I love using my analogies. So I was thinking of mothers because they have some similarities, like adaptability. They're very resourceful, and they work hard, right? And they prioritize the success and growth of their baby. I'm thinking for the entrepreneur, the baby is the company, or maybe they have several babies, several businesses. But they are always prioritizing the success and growth of that. And I'm thinking like DE is a very DE and OI is very fitting for that action. They need dedication. They need the ability to multitask. They need they have to be able to manage various responsibilities effectively. But all along, they will always care for the baby, the company. They will make
Yeah.
sure it grows, it prospers, and they will invest their time, their energy, all their resources into its development. And so the archetype of mother for me is pretty much maybe an ESFJ or an ISFJ. It's like, it's not this crazy gathering just aimlessly, but there is this overarching way or goal. So the blast kind of makes a lot of sense from that perspective, I think.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah. Yeah. It's and also that means it's yeah, that would make the douchebag, the sleep blast number one, the blast play crackhead the number two feels great also. The mob for the number three, and the skip for the number four. Yeah, it feels on many layer of analysis. It feels great. Yeah, it feels just great.
Yeah.
And something that I wanted to acknowledge still, it's like if all of this is true, it's still a lot of if. But I think um, how to say this? Individually, uh, it's how to say this? Yeah, it really feel not exactly like a hierarchy, but it's more something like rock paper scissors. Yeah. Um,
What do you mean by rock, paper, scissors?
that mean number three is above number one is above number two, number four. It's something that go circular. Yeah.
Mm,
Um, and I think people will probably more relate to this, but still, this is also true. How to say? This is in the micro, and this is in the macro, I think, because when you stack together all of this, um, it's difficult to explain. If you add to only took the first savior of each, this is what will happen. Yeah. But if you stack together this combination of 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, etc., etc., together it makes still one ego above responsibility, above specialize, above friends. So
mm,
it feels like two layer of analysis, a bit like um, for a glass lizard. You can have your last animal that is really low, but same time still composed of your of a higher function. Like Shan, by example, she has the blast last, but it's the T and the NI that is her first and second function technically in the
mm.
grand stack. So yeah, there is a lot of complexity on all of this, and we was talking discovering it by making a bit of this video. It's like at the end, maybe it's how SETI that is going in a lot of direction that feels great. But sometimes I'm thinking um, it feels like we can rank order every combination of OP, every coin, every previous coin of OP, like the modality. We could do this with double masculine for number 1 and double feminine for number 4, probably.
Mm.
Same with NF and T. You can push. I'm less confident on this combination, but you can
Yeah.
probably make a case for all of this. But at the end, there is always something pretty weird. I don't know how much people realize how weird it is in OP. It's like the grand stack, the fact that even when you are a jumper, uh, it's like technically my FE, I'm an ITI, so technically my FE is still bigger than my TI.
Mm. The bubble. Yeah.
The size of the bubble, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this alone, the grand stack, is a hierarchy alone. And yeah, you just feel the fact that it's circular to find this again. Yeah, there is
Yeah.
sometimes I'm thinking all of this, all of what we have said so far feels true, will be
Mm.
really useful for your day to day, for where you relate, where are your blind spot, where are your struggle, where are your also your strengths,
Mm-hmm.
etc., etc. But I feel like if you have to be really SI, if we can fake it, SI precise, sometimes I feel like the social are just hard link to the ground stack. Yeah. Um, and the rest is just yeah,
Yeah.
everything
That
come from this. Yeah.
the principle of the hierarchy of the grand stack
Yeah.
is apparently showing in so many different layers of the OP code.
Yeah. And so the number one would have the ground stack of the DI lead DI. The number two would have the ground stack of the IJ. The number three would have the ground stack of the EP, and the number four would have the ground stack of the EJ. And
Right.
technically, you have only four ground stack possible for
Mm.
all the type.
Yeah, right. It's exactly
Yeah.
these four human needs,
And
as
yeah,
you mentioned. Yeah,
yeah. Sometimes
interesting.
I'm thinking, yeah. Sorry guys for to have listened to all of this too, but it feels like a good narrowing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for sharing your sleep world
Yeah.
of NT math.
Yeah.